And why is that?
Because I'm autistic.
Before we get into too much, because that was right in your face.
Oh.
Why don't we do an intro? We might turn this into our first podcast, Creighton. So, go lay down, Sky.
No, Sky's good.
Okay. So, let's start from the beginning, and we're going to say hi.
Hi.
This is our first episode of
Humour Heart Talks.
Yes.
Good job.
I'm Angela.
I'm Krista.
And I'm Creighton. No, I'm not always going to be here.
Right. So, Creighton, who are you?
I'm Creighton. I'm 13.
Yeah.
And I have autism.
Okay. And you're my son.
And I'm her son.
Yes. Okay, Sky, you got to go because this is going to be good if we can just get this good. Hold on. This is going to be great. Go, Sky.
Just give us a sec. She's just dealing with her dog.
All right.
There we go.
So let's try this from the beginning, from the top. You ready, Creighton?
Let's just continue.
Okay.
Try
to cut it.
It would be good. No, don't even worry about cutting it.
Oh, just leave the stuff on?
Yeah.
Okay.
It'd be good because then they would
Because
know.
this is like our actual life.
Yeah.
Good point.
So.
This
Okay.
is our day to
We're in
day.
April. So, Autism Awareness Month. So, why would it matter to you?
Because I have autism.
So I'm still learning about autism. So if I were to ask you, like, okay, so like, what is it? What does it mean? Would you be able to tell me, or is that
Probably not.
No. Okay, that's
Because
okay.
I'm still learning about it myself.
There you go. We can learn together. We can learn together.
So, what do you find is something that maybe people wouldn't know when they meet someone with autism?
They might not know how to react. They might not know
That's very good.
how to I talk to them.
Mm-hmm.
And
Or how to understand them.
Because for
Right.
me, like, I come off as, like, I'm very verbal, like, on, like, some of them.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, when I get upset, I become very nonverbal. I, like, don't talk. I just go, grunts and growls. So.
But that's like your coping mechanism, right? Like
Yes.
that's how you, like when mommy gets mad about something, I don't know how she reacts because I don't think I've ever seen mommy mad. But when I get mad and upset, I yell. I'm a yeller.
Well,
So
what
like,
I do
so
is
you and I would be like the opposite.
Yeah,
if we
you
were
yell
mad,
and I
you'd
just
be like, "Rrr," and I'd be like,
you would yell, I would just be silent. And
Yeah.
If I do talk, I just grunt and growl.
yeah. I sometimes go silent when I'm mad though. I think it depends on the situation, and I think
so.
it depends on who's involved in the situation.
I think so.
Yeah.
so, is there anything else you do when you're mad or upset?
Sometimes I get violent, and I don't get violent as often as I used to, but I sometimes still do.
Yeah.
And
what happens when you get violent?
I throw stuff, try and break stuff most of the time, but
And how do you feel? Like, do you know that that's what you're doing? Like, are you doing it on purpose? Are you
not
doing
really.
it?
It's like my anger takes control, and I try not to, but I can't. And then afterwards, after I do it, I'm like, oh my god, I did not mean to do that.
But that's okay. You recognize it, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know, right? And it's, you can't control it.
Yeah.
So it is what it is, right? It's who you are, and that's okay.
And I'm still trying to learn how to control it.
Yeah, no, 100%. And people who don't know, as they get to know you and as they learn about autism, they're going to know, like, oh, Creighton, he acted up, but he didn't do it intentionally, right? So it's and that's okay, because those who love you are going to accept you, right? And those who don't, you don't need them.
True.
Pound it, baby.
Oh, so Creighton, we talked a bit about what happens.
Yeah.
So, is there anything that you want someone to know when they meet you?
I want them to know that some days I'm very kind, but when I get overwhelmed, I start to become not kind, but that's not actually who I am. I'm very kind. It's just like once I get upset, I act not kind when I'm upset, but like in reality, I am kind.
Yes, you're very kind.
What would you say is something that you feel you struggle with?
I struggle with.
What's your
Sometimes it's hard for me to go to sleep because when my mind races, it's very hard
Mm-hmm.
to do other stuff than what my mind. Like sometimes I like to play video games. So like sometimes my mind will race and I'm like, I want to play, and that makes me hard. It's hard to do other stuff besides that.
Because your mind is so focused on it,
Yes.
on what it is that you want to do.
Yes.
Okay.
That could be anything. Most of the time it's games, but it could be anything else.
Is there other things that you enjoy doing besides your video games and stuff? Like,
Not that I can think of off the top of my head, but I'll let you know if I think of anything.
okay, sweetheart.
So you have met other people with autism,
Yes.
and do you think you're all the same?
No.
No.
Some autistics are very different,
Okay.
at least in my opinion, in my experience.
And would you say that it's just autistics that are different?
No, everyone in general is different from one another.
Mm-hmm.
That's very
And we
true.
must respect everyone.
Yeah.
It's like, so say example, you walk out, you meet someone nice, or seems not that nice, or looks scary. Treat them the same as you would treat someone who doesn't look like that.
You're right. Because why would you say that?
Because they might actually be a kind person.
Don't
A book by its cover.
Nobody should ever have to not say what they think or feel. They just have to try to be mindful of how the other person
might feel.
Exactly.
Everyone must respect each other.
Yeah, 100%.
And if one person doesn't like what one person says, then you can't get upset about it.
Just don't react to it, right? Because it's not going to get you anywhere.
Especially if you don't know the person, you can be like, nope, I'll probably never see them again. Out in the street.
There is a vast spectrum.
Yes.
So when people say spectrum, do you know what that means? Like, what does that mean? No, I know. So I know that there's people who are autistic.
But they're nonverbal. They don't talk as much.
Okay.
But then there's me, who, I talk a lot when I'm not. But when I get upset, I don't talk very much.
Okay. And then there's also this stigma that people who are autistic are brilliant.
Yeah.
Do you think that is true?
For me, yes, I think. For me, I would say maybe because my mom and dad always say I'm very smart.
You are very smart.
You are.
So,
So I think it's really kind of interesting that you just sat here and talked about all of that. And I think it's really important.
Yeah.
And is there anything else you want to let people know, or is there anything you want to say to the world?
Yeah, and there's something I want to say to the world.
What?
Everyone, make sure you be respectful to one another. And that's everything.
I think that's a really good way for us to end this episode. So thank you all for watching, and hopefully you will subscribe and like and join us again on another episode of
Humour Heart